Travis Wayne Goodsill. Another example of avoiding taking responsibility for neglecting the flock. Church leaders will blame porn rather than accept responsibility for what they caused. The Family Proclamation, for example, made it so that men are blamed for not providing prosperity for a family, when the reality in our culture is the economy, which is perpetuated by the government. And so for the church to blame the head of the household for the economic struggles that are in society is equally as abusive as blaming the ills of society on porn. And I've gone over porn as a created modern definition, has no basis in the original Greek, and it's somewhat of a slang or a take on the slang, but it's often used for criminal prosecutions as well. For any kind of criminal, when they do a search of their residence or computer, they often, you'll hear, oh, we found porn on their computer. And that's all the news will say, is that the police found porn. So, how is that a causal connection to the crime? And in our day and age, we have people who are hackers that are able to plant porn onto people's computer. I myself was victimized a couple of years ago, I think now, where I actually caught whoever had planted it on my computer, and it was gay porn in this instance. I had caught them in the act of trying to delete it as I was trying to find out what these files were that were put on my computer. I had to shut down my computer to stop the person from further deleting, so that I can find out what it was that they were deleting. And that's how I found out it was gay porn. And the now unknown, unheard of, forgotten airport director for Salt Lake had been found on the day that Herbert demanded that the airport open up. Child porn was found on his computer. What a coincidence. On the very day that Herbert wanted the airport open, and the airports were given grief to all the states saying, we're not going to put people at risk with this coronavirus, Herbert gets his way with the removal of the airport director for Salt Lake, because he just happened to have child porn on his computer. And now he's gone. He's never gone before a judge. He's never had a hearing set. Nothing. News won't talk about it, if there's anything to talk about. It's all been silenced and disappeared into the annals of history. That guy is gone. And so, when you blame porn, and Mormons have all varying degrees of what constitutes porn. For example, my second ex, Karen, believes that this picture is pornographic, all because it's immodest. And what is immodesty? Again, Mormons define it by what reveals where garments should cover up. And Mormons forget that the prophets have shortened the span of body coverage of garments over the decades. That it used to go up to the neck, to the wrists, and to the ankles. That was Brigham Young's original garment. That was the underwear back in those days. And to believe that anything that exposes the underwear is therefore immodest, or exposing where underwear should be, you're not wearing your garments, is therefore sin, and then blaming the pornographic immodesty for whatever other sin, such as, oh, well, that's why you aren't getting a better job to take care of your family. See where we're going with this? And so for the prophets of the church to focus on porn, the scourge of porn, the addiction of porn, rather than, hey, you guys are financially suffering in the church. We have bishop storehouses. We're building a new bishop storehouse in place of a new building at this location so that we can funnel necessary food to those in need. Just see how things change all of a sudden. Instead of adding stress to family life, relieving stress. What an idea. What a concept. Because in a marriage relationship, if the wife blames her husband for the lifestyle, because the woman gave up her daddy's lifestyle that she's been used to living, and now she gets married to a man, and the man can't produce the lifestyle that daddy gave her. Is the woman going to be understanding and blame the economy and blame the government and blame the church for not helping? Or is she going to blame her husband and nag and complain and deny certain things that a man needs? And thus the breakup of the family. And so for the church leaders to create a straw man as the cause, and that's what porn is, it's a straw man. They refuse to acknowledge that it's their fault for not taking care of the flock. Because as your flock grows, you need to provide more food for the lambs. You need to be able to shear all the lambs. And as you get more sheep, you got to shear each sheep so that the wool doesn't... There are certain things that have to be done, and if one shepherd has too many sheep for the one man to handle, he needs to hire others to take care of the flock. This is what Moses encountered when Jethro got involved and said, hey, set up an organization to take care of the large number of people because you're getting overworked. And so that's what the church has set up, bishops, stake presidents. But again, if they're being told, no, the bishop's storehouse is only supposed to be temporary, they need to go out and get a job. What do bishops do? they are duty bound as a bishop to care for their flock, but the church is saying, no, don't take care of them. They need to be self-reliant. They need to take care of themselves. What do? That's why I've never made a bishop. I would have taken care of my flock. And they knew that I would do something like that as a rebel. But yeah, when the church finds excuses not to care for the flock, they throw out other idolatrous straw men as the cause of the blame, rather than them who refuse to take care of the flock. So it's not necessarily porn, that's just one example. But yeah, it's sickening. And with the coronavirus, as I'm testing out a new thing other than LDS temple porn, this will be an LDS temple porn, as you already know, but following the LDS prophet of Dr. Death. LDS prophet Dr. Death. Again, the church, like the governor of Utah, blame us when we get sick because of what they caused in refusing to follow the advice of medical professionals and shut us down immediately. They allowed it to escalate, slowing down the shutting down of things, and then reopen too early. And the consequences are that this coronavirus is going to last for an indefinite period of time because they have just given up. They're not even trying to slow it down, let alone stop it. And so this is going to go on indefinitely. And there's no guarantee of a vaccine. Don't put your hopes on it. We were told it's going to take a couple years. That's the standardized testing procedures, is that it takes a couple of years. And then, only then, if they have a successful vaccine, can they finally stop it. But then they have to mass produce it and whatever. So all this talk about rushing to get it done before Trump gets elected, yeah, we know exactly what's going on. People want money. People are getting pressured by the administration to come out with anything, and then they'll lie and cover up the results. This is how it's been working. And then they'll blame Democrats, the deep state, under Trump's government. There's a deep state in Trump's government. Only when Trump took over and hired everybody. Yeah. People are dumb. So, but that's what evil people do. They blame other things, straw men, if they can. And that's what Republicans do. They blame straw men, deep state Democrats, liberals. Oh, the deep state liberals, they're destroying Trump. Yeah. That's what Nelson's done. He's blamed the government for not having the church open, and so the government replies, okay, we'll open. Oh, please, don't strike us down with the mighty wrath of Lucifer, the inverted pentagram. And then everybody gets sick and dies. And there's no sheep. And then the Lord of the sheep gets pissed and whips. The scriptures say the Lord whips those shepherds for their wickedness. And you do not mess with his sheep.